transition points, specifically in the military. What is a transition point? Well, it's exactly what it sounds like. A point of transition. It's a point where the operation is changing. The movement's changing. Potentially your gear is changing. Very dangerous. The most dangerous of moments are points of transition. It's when security breaks down. It's when speed breaks down. It's usually speed over security, but at transition points, security's a little bit choppy and speed's definitely choppy. Let's give you some examples. When a helicopter's landing, guys are getting off the fucking chopper. Transition point, dangerous. Dangerous for the troops, dangerous for the bird. Over the beach attacks. What we learned, look what's behind me right here. For those of you that are asking, Buds Class 284. Chop, chop, chop. Red, blue, and green. These are my Hell Week boots. And that's the knife that was issued at SQT. Lieutenant Commander Robert Condon died on the Mekong River, Vietnam. That K-bar is issued to us graduation, SEAL, SQT. And when you get to the command, you do a report on that guy. You do a report on the guy who's on your knife. And ideally, you touch base with some of his family. Very powerful. We'll get on the story of that. But let's picture my first phase class. Now, we're kind of starting to learn about those transition points. This is why I'm bringing it all together. You start to learn at those transition points how much of a clusterfuck it is. For those guys in the military know that at any point you're de-jocking, changing stuff, whatever, it's chaos. It's chaos. Those transition points are dangerous. And when we started doing over-the-beach attacks, as I was saying before, let me tell you about a dangerous moment is a transition point. There's nothing cool about changing out of a wetsuit, trying to hold security on the beach. Any team guy or guy who's done over-the-beach attacks knows there's nothing sexy about an over-the-beach attack. It looks cool on the highlight reels and guys coming out in wetsuits, but let me tell you, you're not assaulting houses in a wetsuit. You're gonna fry. You're gonna die of heat exhaustion. You're gonna overheat. You're gonna go tits up. You got to get that wetsuit off. Let me tell you, anybody, if you've taken a wetsuit off before, you know it's not necessarily the easiest thing you have, and you got to be holding security. You got 50-50 security. Picture that, right? Taking the wetsuit on. Not to mention trying to get a wet wetsuit back on. That's a whole nother ball of wax. Dangerous. Holding security. Guys are trying to change. So now you got 50-50 security. You got half the guys' guns down. And if something happens, you got a wetsuit around your fucking ankles. Dangerous, right? Transition points. And those transition points, what do you know? They translate into life. What is something you hear all the time, dangerous times for service members transitioning out of the military? Transitioning out of the military is extremely dangerous for a lot. And a lot of guys don't make it. A lot of guys take their own lives because of the difficulty of that transition. There's a multitude of reasons, right? I was almost in one of those statistics. If you guys know some of my backstory, I was 2 years after I had been kicked out of the SEAL teams, I was suicidal living in my truck with a sawed-off shotgun on my lap, contemplating ending my life. It's not a game, man. That's a low point. It's a low moment. not proud of it, but I like to be transparent about it because it allows others to be transparent to me. Guys who come to me and need help, man, you can't reach out to somebody unless you know that they're on the level, that they're being honest too. Everybody wants to be their authentic self, so you have to be your authentic self with people to get that same respect in return. And that's what I try to do here. You know, I get ripped on a lot. Oh, this guy, he's proud of his... Man, I'm not proud of any of this shit I've done. I'm not proud of getting arrested. I'm not... You can speak about things frankly and even laugh about stuff and not be proud of it. Those transition points. They're dangerous for a multitude of reasons. First, you're losing the structure, right? You're losing the structure. Then you're losing your tribe. You're losing part of your identity, or what you thought was your identity. So now you don't even have anything to touch and say, oh yeah, I'm this, which a lot of men specifically, that's what we hang our hat on. That's what we hang our value on. That's what we hang our pride on. Hey, this is my title. Now you don't have a title, right? Well, who are you? And that's what I like to push. And that's what I had to learn. After I became a SEAL, and that void wasn't filled, that internal void of self-worth wasn't filled. So I went to France, through that rough transition phase where I had lost the discipline, and go to France, become a legionnaire. What do you know? That void's not filled still. And there was nothing less to do. There was nowhere left for me to go and get some title to make me feel whole. So then I had to look internal. The way out is in. The way out of that chaos is inside you already. The answer's already there. The answer's on the floor in front of you. Drop down, hammer out those burpees, right? Build that self-worth through those daily disciplines and holding good, strong character. Not doing things that you fucking regret or that don't make you proud. That's what a lot of guys go wrong. They think it's the job. It's not the job. It's that you haven't built rooted disciplines that make you proud of yourself. And there's also another piece. It's not just the disciplines. Say you're disciplined as fuck. You have to, and you're disciplined as fuck, and your habits are good, right? You're not going to the bars. You're not going to all these places. You're not doing all this crazy shit, doing drugs and whatever, trying to find happiness. You got that on lock. Well, guess what you have now? A lot of fucking time. A job is not going to fulfill that. You go punching a 9 to 5, punching in, punching out. All right, it's not going to fill that. Your family, love them. It's not going to fill that void as men. Not going to do it. You can't come home and just be, Johnny house husband after work. And even though we'd like to say, hey, that's fulfilling, but you have got to get a entrepreneurial hustle. That's what I've only found to be the cure, because you got to stay busy. Idle hands, the devil's playground. Not only is it make it more accessible to do shit you're not proud of, you start to, okay, I got too much time, okay, maybe those vices pick up, and it's also, you need to have that project that's about you, that's your future, that's in your control. It's not somebody else's. It's you writing your own ticket. It's all on you, and it's something that you can work on all the time. Hobbies don't do it. You whittling wood does not do it. I play chess. You play chess. I love chess. But guess what? If I just spent any of my off time just playing chess, that ain't going to cut it. It's got to be some entrepreneurial hustle. Build a business. Start something. It might fail. Who cares? Get going on it. Or purpose-driven. And make it outside of yourself. Ideally, helping other people. If you can make money helping other people, what do you know? You're living the ultimate life. That's ultimate transcendence. First, you have to self-actualize, then you can transcend self. You've got to build those daily disciplines in. That's the first piece. I was on a client call today, and we were getting into that. He's a border patrol agent, and he's looking for that purpose. He's kind of losing that purpose, especially with what we got going on in this clown world today down south on the border because of the powers that be. The Border Patrol's doing the best they can, and they're getting their hands tied. That's unfortunate. And so he's having some issues on that purpose, right? So I was like, man, start building these disciplines. Start self-actualizing. Get yourself to where you're good. To where you're fucking solid. And then you can start helping people. When you start having no bad days, now you're starting to get into the sweet spot. You start living that perfect day. You're practicing that perfect day again and again and again, and you're hitting those base hits, those perfect day base hits on repeat. Now you can start to think about helping people. Build that business. Build that brand. Start that idea that you've been waiting. These are for military guys. We're purpose-driven, man. We're purpose-driven. Without that purpose, we start to whittle away and die. So, notice I didn't say passion. Right? Find your passion. Man, I'm passionate about chess, but I'm not going to fucking be some grandmaster making money doing it. I'm not smart enough. You know? I'm passionate about it, but you got to know your limitation. Man, you can be passionate about stuff, but that doesn't need to be your purpose. Right? That doesn't definitely need to be what you need to be making your money off. Wow, it would be unbelievable if you could, but let's be realistic. Find a solid purpose outside of yourself. Build a business around it. Work your day job so you can keep that money coming in while you're doing that. Work 9 to 5 and then 5 to 9 on your shift. Stay busy. Keep that schedule stacked. Stay pushing. Stay tightening in those disciplines. We take that course, then we fucking course correct and get it tight. Then we're cooking with gas, man. Be smart out here.